English. So I'd now like to ask Tom to come up and deliver his evaluation of Simon's speech. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Richard. Simon's speech, all about 3 keys and a kick. In terms of the structure, it was very, very well structured. I particularly liked how at the start of the speech, he made us laugh. And he made us laugh while keeping in tune with what he was talking about. He was very much setting the scene for what he was talking about in terms of making progress. And this idea that we have these 3 keys. We see these numbers thrown about, 7 habits of highly effective people, 10 this, 11 that. And sometimes, and I don't think it's necessarily the intention of the authors, but sometimes people can take these certain steps as panaceas. And okay, this is the magic answer, and I'll do the X, Y, and Z, and then everything will be okay. And Simon was very expert in the way that he did this speech, because yes, he's given us the 3 keys, but you still need the character as well. It doesn't matter if you have all these things, you still need character, because it's not magic. It doesn't just happen on its own. And so that was very expertly done in terms of the structure of the speech and how he integrated his story into that as well. So to start with, he debunked a platitude and made us laugh, which was great. And then he introduced what these 3 keys were, which was quite simple and quite straightforward. And then we had a problem. We got to the problem phase of the story, which was, okay, so you've got your 3 keys, and then the door's stuck. And that's where we get the kick coming into play, which was very well done. He reiterated what the 3 keys were, and he actually gave us a promise, which is quite a good way of calling someone to action, because there are various different ways of calling an audience to action. Making people a promise is a very effective way of doing so, because it's essentially a challenge. You're challenging people. You are inherently making an invitation by making that promise. You're saying, try me, test me. This is what I'm saying is the outcome is going to be. Give it a go for yourself. It's a very subtle way of making an invitation. I also liked as well, in terms of the conclusion, you started off by being funny, you ended by being powerful. Funny at the start brings engagement, powerful at the end brings commitment. That brings change. So I loved how you did that, how you structured that, and I thought that was very expertly done. In terms of, I'm actually using Simon's very own evaluation template, and trust me, you won't be able to read it from where you are, because I can barely read it from here. But in summary, in all, because I don't want to hammer the timing on this, especially with where we are tonight, Simon is a very measured and very professional speaker. He could go on almost any stage and deliver almost any speech. There is no question that he is at a very high level. I have to give him something that's going to help him to go, in my view, even further. Measured and controlled are words that I use when I evaluate Simon. I want to see less of that. You looked towards the end of that speech like you might have got tearful. And I know what that feels like, because I've been there. I've cried in speeches before, and I don't regret that. Now, you're at a crossroads, Simon, where you've got to relinquish some of that control. Because if you relinquish some of that control and you get pissed off when you're kicking that door, and you actually kick the door and give it a hell of a kick and raise your voice and look like you're angry, like I do now, and your hackles are up, your shoulders are up a bit, and you look like you're going to punch someone in the face, then we know how pissed off you were about the fact that you quit that damn job because of your problem. We're there with you. We're feeling it. So that's where Simon is right now, I feel. An excellent speaker. I just want to see, paradoxically, a little bit less control. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tom. Just a very quick point that I wanted to make as well. I think that from what we were supposed to do on the agenda, we'll probably run maybe